Welcome back to another GeekaWhat video. Today it's PC build time. PC build time is a good time. So let's get into the video once you've dropped a like rating and made sure to subscribe. So this build performs very well in the latest AAA titles. You'll smash GTA 5, The Witcher 3, Star Wars Battlefront, Battlefield Hardline, Battlefield 4, all those intensive AAA titles, even Crysis 3, which is like the hardest game ever to run. You'll also be smashing some of the older titles such as World of Warcraft, League of Legends, Minecraft and CSGO at 100 and 200 FPS as well in some cases, so it's all happy days there. And let's start off the build with the CPU. The CPU I went for was the Intel Core i5-6400. It comes out the box clocked at 2.7 GHz, which is a tad disappointing. 2.7 GHz is fine. It isn't going to restrict you too much, and it certainly isn't going to thermal throttle. Thermal throttling is when a CPU has to underclock itself in order not to get too hot. But the CPU isn't going to thermal throttle. It excels, it aboves, it outdoes, I can't speak, the FX series chips from AMD that I'd otherwise be able to afford in this price range, and puts you on the Skylake architecture, meaning the much better overclocking support. The CPU isn't overclockable, and the DDR4 RAM and all of the new things such as M.2 and SATA Express and all that kind of stuff. The motherboard I went for was the ASRock H110M. It's a great motherboard -HDV. It comes in a micro ATX form factor and the new LJ1151 socket, of course, which should be around for at least another 2, 3, or maybe even 4 generations, allowing for upgradability right up to the 6700K and presumably the 7700K and the 8800K when they launch in the next few years. The RAM I went for was the Kingston HyperX Fury Black. 18GB DIMM is fine, and investing in this new architecture is a great option. RAM has got a hell of a lot cheaper in price, and this Kingston kit is no exception. To pick yourself up some of this DDR4 2133 MHz speed is a great option for this build. The storage I went for was the Seagate Barracuda 1TB drive. It's a 3.5-inch form factor, and I did have to sacrifice in order to fit in the CPU and graphics card an SSD for this build. SSDs don't directly affect the gaming performance anyway of a build, so it was a sacrifice I was happy to make, and an SSD can be added in later on down the line. But back to the hard drive, the Seagate Barracuda is my favourite 1TB hard drive. I've got 3 of these, not one of them has failed me, 2 in a server, 1 in my editing PC. A 3.5-inch form factor is the norm for sort of standard consumer hard drives, and 7200 RPM is as fast as the mainstream hard drives get. The video card I went for was the XFX Radeon R9 380. It's XFX's double dissipation card, and you know, let's give myself a little bit of a plug here. If you want to view my review of this exact card to the T, the exact card that I'm holding in my hands right now but you can't actually see, then go over to the channel and check that out. This card is phenomenal. You can also view my gaming benchmarks of the card in the review. It looks super slick. It doesn't take too much power up either, and just go and buy this card. It is insane. The case I went for was a Thermaltake Versa H21. It would have been nice to go the case with a window, but sacrifices have to be made in order to fit in with a budget, and this was one of them. But it's a nice case. It's got USB 3 and USB 2, front panel HD audio, power reset, all that good stuff, and plenty of room for fans and even a radiator inside the case. The power supply I went for was the XFX XT 500W. It's an 80+ bronze certified power supply in an ATX form factor. And while I'm plugging myself once again, you can go and view my review of the XFX XXX edition, the 850W power supply, as well on the channel in the reviews playlist. But this power supply, 500W, is more than enough. Gives 160W of headroom for another hard drive, another SSD, maybe even a second graphics card, CPU cooler, more RAM, all that good stuff on the same power supply. If you found this video helpful, make sure to drop a like rating and subscribe, and as always, we will see you in the next GeekaWhat video.